Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Bologna on a nice, sunny, crisp autumnal day. If you know anything about my photography, you know that I like photographing bicycles. I don't know why, they just appeal to me for some reason. Maybe it's because they tend to be put up against walls and they sort of are perpendicular to other things that I'm photographing. They just make a nice addition. But yeah, here we have a bicycle with a lovely reflection of said bicycle below it in a puddle. I really quite like this. It's very nice. This is shot on Ektar. And again, if you know anything about my photography, you know that I'm obsessed with Ektar. I'm obsessed with the colours that it pulls out, and I'm obsessed with the colours it does in autumn and in nice, light, bright autumnal days. This roll of film is full of images like that. So I'm going to be very happy talking through these with you. So yeah, what do you think of that? Now, in the last video, I spoke about a walk that I took about 6-7 kilometers up a mountain or hill just on the outskirts of Bologna. Went to the top of that, and there's a church on the top of it, which I got onto the roof of and took some photographs from there. Don't worry, you are allowed on the roof. You climb up a tower and they let you in, so it's not like I just climbed up the damn side of the thing like I was in Assassin's Creed or something. Yeah, so this is Bologna from outside, from on top of one of the hills surrounding it. Lovely, isn't it? I just love the colours that Ektar brings out. I mean, you know, look at those blues. Look at that blue sky. Again, if you know anything about my type of photography, you know some of the things I'm really into is minimalism and negative space. This is a big example of negative space. We got a nice view of the city, but then lots and lots of blue sky and clouds above it. Just big old empty area. So yeah, I really like this one. This is a view from the opposite direction, looking out over the Apennine Mountains. So these are the mountains that separate Emilia-Romagna from Toscana. Unfortunately, I've managed to both blow out the sky horribly and ruin the shadow of the foreground as well at the same time. That's quite a special thing to have done. But yeah, these are some of the mountains. You can sort of see the middle ground. I guess you can make out the middle ground, really, of the mountains going off into the distance, but the foreground's ruined and the sky is ruined, so do better next time. And here is the next time. Another image, again looking out towards the mountains. I think this particular one is because I saw that little lake in the distance and wanted to make that the focus of it. The clouds above making a nice contrast, I guess. You can see the difference of the shadow in the ground where that's obviously hitting, because the right hand side of the image is brighter than the left. Again, it's just a nice picture of some mountains. It's a real shame that sky is so blown out. I should have dialed it back a little bit, really. But it's okay. I think the next one is better. And here is the next one. And the reason I think this is better is because I decided to try and get as much of that damn blown out sky out of the way. Obviously the sun is hidden behind those clouds, so it's really making it very bright. I mean, I'm shooting directly into the sunlight here like an imbecile, so that's probably why that's causing the problem. But at least on this one, you know, the foreground is at least lit up. You can make out, you know, shapes and trees and the fields, and you can at least see something, you know. You can at least see that, and then you can see the mountains going off into the distance. You can see like a road as well going off into the distance to the middle, so we've got a nice little leading line through there as well. Yeah, again, shame about the top left of the image being so blown out, but I mean, I'm shooting directly into the sunlight. There's not an awful lot I can do there other than wait for the sun to go the opposite direction behind me, and then that's a different image completely, and also several hours later I'm not sitting on a roof for several hours trying to get a photograph. So yeah. Well, I really liked taking pictures off the top of this roof, didn't I? This one's probably the worst, I would say. It's silhouetted. I guess that's probably what I was going for, because I don't think I could possibly have thought that this was any good otherwise. I mean, the silhouette of like a TV tower, I guess, on the left-hand side, and then some of the hills and mountains there in front of you, and then a lot of sky. Other than that, it's not very good at all. Hello. This one looks much nicer, doesn't it? Again, that bloody sky. I really should have thought about this before I shot that. I tried to diffuse the light somehow, but yeah, it's nicely framed, I guess, with the trees around me and everything, and then you can see the mountains in the distance. I mean, this looks more like you're taking a photograph in the wild countryside, isn't it? Which it isn't. You're literally on the outskirts of a major city in a major European nation. So, yeah, lovely day as well. It's which was, considering it rained for several days beforehand and it was horrible for me that entire time, it was lovely to get a nice sunny day to go for a lovely walk and then just get nice views like this. So, sometimes things do work out alright. Here is an image that I am particularly proud of. I'm very, very pleased with this one. It is everything that I could possibly have wanted this to come out as. Just look at the repetition, look at that lighting, just look at that leading line, just oh my, I am so happy with how this one came out. This is walking back down the Portici on the way back to the city from the church on the top. I can't remember for the life of me what the church is called. I think it's the Sanctuary of Sant Luca, maybe. Correct me, please, if I'm wrong on that. But anyway, I really, really love this image. I have it directly above me on my wall, above my computer. I've got it printed out, a giant print stuck on the wall, and I pretty sure I gave someone a print of this, and it's hanging up in a tattoo studio somewhere in Cardiff as well. I hope it is anyway, because I gave it to them. I'm pretty sure they hung it. Yeah, I think it's this one. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know, because I really like it. And here is what those Portici look like from the outside. There is a road that follows this all the way up, so you can drive there. I think there's a bus as well that you can go up, which, if you're sensible, you'd probably get on it, but at the same time, the bus didn't look particularly safe. I didn't want to get on it. It was one of those tiny little rubbishy buses, and I saw it coming up behind me and it was struggling to get up the hill. So yeah, plus it was nice exercise. It's nice to go for a walk, isn't it, sometimes? But yeah, this is what they look like from the outside, and it looks like this the entire way. So this leads all the way from the city up to the hill, all the way from the hill back down to the city for 6-7 kilometers. It's fantastic, just an amazing feat of engineering as well, and it's beautiful. When you consider that this has been up for hundreds and hundreds of years, just yeah, really, really nice. So this is the cathedral in the very centre of Bologna. It is the cathedral of San Petronio, I believe, who was bishop of Bologna in like the 5th century. So it's a super like old saint. I'm pretty sure a Roman saint rather than even an Italian one, which is a little bit different. It's massive. I mean, all cathedrals are, aren't they? But also it just looks a bit different to how some other cathedrals I've seen. If you've watched the earlier videos in this series, you obviously would have seen the cathedral in Milan. A little bit different to that, and obviously massively different to the massive one in Florence. I guess all cathedrals don't look the same. I guess. This is in the centre of Bologna. It's pretty much dominates the Piazza Maggiore, which is the main huge square in the centre of the city. All of like the major tourist attractions are around here. So you've got the cathedral by there. You've got like the city hall sort of on the one side. The 2 giant towers are literally just behind us on the left, down the street, about 300-400 yards walk away. I went in here. It's beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic. I just love architecture like this. It's amazing. So yeah, took a photo because I seem to have billions of photographs of cathedrals. This just seems to be one of the things I photograph. So this is the Renato Dell'Ara, which is the stadium for Bologna, the football team that are obviously based in Bologna, being called Bologna, obviously. This is a nice view. I thought another thing I like to do is I like to take photographs of football stadiums if I can find them, and if they're in nice surroundings. This one is very much a stadium of its time. I believe it was first built in like the 20s or 30s, and is kind of within the city centre itself. Not right in the centre, but you know, it's within the city in one of the suburbs. So it's not like a massive out of town brand new kind of place like you get with modern stadiums. So it's got a lot of character. You know, there's people's houses built around it and everything. And yeah, because of that, I managed to get this lovely view coming down from the hillside of it, you know, framed by the trees here with lovely blue sky, nice bright day, and just this stadium. I literally was walking down the road and just went, hang on a second, that's the stadium over there. Yeah, stopped and took a picture of it. If you know me, you know that I'm really into Italian football. If you don't know me, well, I'm really into Italian football, so there you go, I've just told you. I went for a walk down to the stadium. Once I saw that it was there, I went and walked all the way to it just for a walk around, see if I could get in, really, and have a look. See if there was a club shop, something like that. It didn't. I couldn't find anything. I think it was closed. I think there was something going on. It was closed for the day because none of the entrances seemed to have any suggestion that anybody was about, or that like you could even get into the club shop or anything like that. So it was a bit of a shame. But yeah, Bologna aren't that good a team. They are in the top division in Italy, but they're sort of middling, you know, hovering around the relegation zone, maybe middle of the league every year, if that. They're not a great one, but they are historically a very famous team, you know. So yeah, it was cool to see a very historic stadium, and just a place that has a lot of history behind it. So okay, so we'll finish off this episode with a nice picture here of the tower on the front of the stadium. If you look back at the other one, you can see it just to the right hand side of the stadium itself. But this is standing in front of it, taking a picture of it. Annoyingly, I've managed to get it not quite central, and it looks like it's sort of falling over backwards because you know, that stood right underneath it. It's towering above me, but there we go. Yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed this a lot more than I have of some of the other ones, probably because the photos have been a little bit better, and it's reminded me of a nice sunny day and a nice day that I had, rather than wandering around soaked to my skin like I was in Milan on the first day in Bologna. So as usual, please like and subscribe. It obviously helps out. If you liked anything you saw in this video, leave a comment, let me know. If you want to see more of these images, I made a zine at the end of this trip, which features the best ones, in my opinion, from the trip, and that's still for sale through my Etsy store. There's a few copies still left, even though it was 2 years ago I made it. There are a few copies. Quotation marks, I made too many, that's why. But not all of them have been sold, so there are some left. And yeah, and until next time, thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.